Very good evening, friends. This is Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multi asset and multinational hedge fund. By multi asset, I mean we actively covering our positions in multiple asset classes like gold, silver, platinum, palladium, oil, natural gas, spreads, agriculture commodities, base metals, foreign exchange, equities, contract for differences, and respective. Please do note that we are a proprietary hedge fund. By proprietary, I mean to say no third party. I repeat, no third party can invest in our fund. Treasury Consulting and none of the subsidiaries of Treasury Consulting is inviting any form of third party investment. Please do take a note of that. Please. Today, I would be covering another podcast on a company known as Verse. VERSE, Verse. If you open Google and check their website, you would get to know that Verse is nothing but a media platform. By media platform, I mean to say they have their app known as Josh. I'm also one of the user of the Josh, but nowadays, you know that I'm really getting any time, so not been able to spare much time. But yes, I'm definitely a user of Josh. I agree with this. But before I move to Verse, I would like to tell you about the startup ecosystem of India. In fact, the global startup ecosystem. It is based on a fake valuation model. We have seen Uber, Ola, Airbnb, Peloton, Robinhood Inc. And there are variety of companies we have. Those at one point of time standing on billions of dollars of valuation. And except Einstein, Edison, and Newton, it would be very difficult for anyone to understand how these valuation end up as billion of dollars. Today also, I am talking about the more or less same startup whose valuation is also in billions. And the name of that startup is Verse. I don't know till what extent you are tracking the startup ecosystem of the globe. I am definitely tracking that startup ecosystem like Robinhood Inc., Peloton, Rivian, and there are many so-called startups, those who have, those listed in the worldwide and end up losing the money of the investors. And the biggest question remains intact that how would these startups got the approval from the investors, from the regulators? Guys, on 6th April 2022, I repeat, 6th April 2022, there is an article that did published in the public domain that Verse raised approximately 805 million US dollars. Now, 805 million is approximately near about 6,400 crores, you can say. So on 6th April 2022, Verse raised approximately 805 million US dollars and at a valuation of approximately 5 billion, which means 40,000 crores. You heard me very right, which is 40,000 crores, which means you raised such a huge money at an expensive valuation of 5 billion US dollars. I went to internet, start searching the profitability of that startup. And as always, I felt disappointed when I see that it's a heavily losing startup. You would be very surprised to know that in financial year 20, Verse lost 410 crores, 410, 410 crores. In financial year 21, the loss more or less doubled, which is 807 crores. 807 crores. In financial year 22, it is approximately little bit higher than three times, which is 2563 crores. 2563 crores. You heard me very right. Even when I read that number on the internet, I was like, what the hell? 2563 crores. So, what kind of operations you people are up to that pushed you to reach at that level of losses? I just added the 3 years, financial year 20, financial year 21, and financial year 22. And you would be very surprised that I end up approximately 3,800 crores of losses. So in the last 3 years, which is financial year 20, financial year 21, and 22, that organization ended up at a loss of approximately 3,800 crores. I don't have time with me, else I would have gone little earlier also, financial year 19, 18, 17, and respectively. I would have checked definitely the losses at that point of time also. But in the absence of the time, I went with only the 3 years. It also raises a big question about the going concern capability of that organization. Because as per accounting standards, if the organization is consistently in losses, and that too huge losses, please note that 2,563 crores 2,563 crores worth of losses only in 1 year is never been a small amount. Probably for compromised and corrupt media, it is a small amount, but for an auditor, it cannot be a small amount. It also raises a big question about the sustainability of that organization in the near term, alongside heavily dependent on the venture capitalist money. It also raises a big question that how come an organization who ends up being 3,800 crores worth of losses, I repeat, who ends up being 3,800 crores worth of losses, can be valued at around 5 billion US dollars. Except Einstein, Edison, and Newton. I repeat, except Einstein, Edison, and Newton, I don't think anyone would be able to answer this. Yes, the big fours can answer that because we know how it works. In India or worldwide, we know the achievements of the big fours. So, big fours can also answer this question. But I cannot answer this question because to me, 3,800 crores of losses only in last 3 years is a very big number. And technically speaking, this cannot be justified. This cannot be justified at any cost. I went to internet, I searched Daily Hunt, and though I did the podcast on the Daily Hunt earlier, but you would be very surprised that the situation of the Daily Hunt is almost same we have of Verse. Guys, one thing which I'm not getting, how come these organizations end up receiving so much amount of money and end up claiming, having huge, I would say, amount of valuation. Anyways, the story is not ending here. Rather, uh, the story starts from here. I went to internet and I downloaded and I got the information that Verse is firing approximately 150 people. Verse is firing approximately 150 people. And more importantly, which is around 5% of their workforce, around 5% of their workforce. Verse is also cutting the salaries of around 11% of their employees, 11% of their employees who are earning 10 lakhs or more, who are earning 10 lakhs and more. Guys, the biggest question which we need to answer is the news aggregator platforms. Who owns Daily Hunt? Who owns, this Josh app and all these? How come these platforms end up receiving so much amount of money? How much these platforms end up losing so much amount of money and still they can be considered as a going concern? That's the very important thing. I don't know how, till what extent people would be taking this seriously, but one thing which I'm telling you right now, one thing which I warned people in 2018 about the SoftBank is that SoftBank financial situation wasn't good in 2018. I made a video, people laughed, they ignored the video. Today, you yourself knew that where the hell is SoftBank? SoftBank financial condition is in big, big, big troubles. And I'm telling you right away that sooner or later, you will see that the startups ecosystem of the globe, please note I'm using a word of the globe, would end up having the same story of the SoftBank. Because if on a consistent basis you are incurring the losses, you are Verse, you own Daily Hunt, you own Josh, your own media platform. What is the use of that media platform if you end up with 2563, which is around 2563 crores of losses only in 1 year? What is the use of that platform? There is no use of that platform. The 150 people who lost the jobs, do you even bother that they would be getting jobs anywhere in this tough economic environment? 11% employees receive salary cuts. I don't know what level of salary cuts, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, probably more than 5%. We never knew, so we can't reply that. But having said that, they received the salary cuts. This is called the startup model. And this startup model we need to appreciate. And surprisingly, the company is valued at 5 billion US dollars. Who valued this company at 5 billion? I don't have any idea, but probably you might have any idea about that. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You knew my personal number, +91 9899242978. I repeat, +91 9899242978. Alternatively, you can visit our fixed income platform www.fixedincome.global. Let me repeat, www.fixedincome.global. Thank you very much, guys, and more podcast on the way. Thanks.